Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ian from MaddenSchool.com, and in today's video, we're going to be going over the set feet lead and pass lead elite abilities and how much faster that makes our quarterback throw it. So let's just dive right into it. Basically, what I'm doing here is I'm going to do 5 throws with Tom Brady without lead passing at all. They're all going to be curls. They're all going to be timed exactly the same. I'm not touching anything in terms of how far he drops back or anything. I snap it, let him auto drop back. When the receiver turns, I hold down the bullet pass as hard as I can to make it as hard of a bullet pass as I can, but I'm not lead passing at all. And what you're going to see here, it's about 1.05 or so seconds for that specific route. Now I chose the curl route just because it's easiest to get the timing exactly the same to kind of standardize everything. But keep in mind, this isn't some sort of like Harvard peer-reviewed study. I'm sure there's some flaws in this. But after watching the video, hopefully you'll be able to tell that some of these quarterback abilities make the velocity of the ball so much faster. So those were kind of 5 throws with Tom Brady. They were all about 1.05 or so seconds. And now what we're going to do is we're going to lead pass to the left just to activate his set feet lead ability. And you're going to see it actually comes in much faster. Now 0.854 seconds or thereabouts. Obviously, again, not perfect. And it doesn't seem like much. But that's on about like a 15 or so yard throw. 0.854 seconds, that's 15 or so % difference. And even though that might not seem like a crazy amount, that is a huge amount. If you play with this ability in game, you're going to absolutely tell. It throws off your entire offense just because of how fast the ball gets there. Now, that can be a good thing or a bad thing, but it is something to be aware of. Now, remember, this applies to set feet lead, pass lead, elite. There's probably like a pocket lead or something that also applies to gunslinger ability in Mutt and in regular. I think Aaron Rodgers has it. That's going to be pretty similar, so just keep that in mind. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to now sub in Blaine Gabbert, who I've edited to have pretty much the exact same passing abilities as Tom Brady, and we're doing this just to make sure you can see here throw power, everything's going to be pretty much the same. There might be a little bit off, but more or less the same. Just to make sure that none of Tom Brady's other abilities were impacting it, because you saw there the X factor was lit up, so maybe his X factor might change it, or maybe he has a different ability that might change it. So I just want to do the same test here with Blaine Gabbert instead of Tom Brady, just to make sure, again, none of his abilities are impacting it except for set feet lead. And the way the timing on this works, and you're going to see 1.053 seconds or so, is that we're going to start the timer right in the first frame where the ball leaves our quarterback's hand, and we're stopping the timer in the first frame that it hits our receiver's hand. You can go ahead and pause the video, really slow motion it if you want to kind of follow along for yourself. Again, obviously there might be a little bit of user error, but for the most part, you're easily going to be able to tell that 1.053 seconds is pretty much what you're seeing with this 90 throw power or so quarterback on this curl route. And it's going to obviously change if you're doing other routes, but the velocity of the ball isn't going to change. So this is Blaine Gabbert. We just made a couple throws with him. And then I also have another person I've edited here on the Buccaneers. I believe it's their third string quarterback we have. You can see Ryan Griffin. I just made him 99, pretty much anything that could possibly matter for throwing. So 99 awareness, 99 throw power, 99 everything. And then I'm going to time him to see what the difference between 90 throw power and 99 throw power is. See if it's at all noticeable, see if there's a big difference. But first I got to throw the ball away here. So we have Ryan Griffin in the game now. Remember, that's our 99 everything Ryan Griffin. And we're going to time him out the exact same way we timed out both that edited Blaine Gabbert and Tom Brady. We're just bullet passing it in there as fast as we can. We're going to see here 0.952, which is kind of right in between our Tom Brady with the lead passing ability and Tom Brady without the lead passing ability. Remember, this guy's 99 throw power versus Tom Brady's 90 throw power, so that's where the difference is there. But what that means to me, at least, is that I would much rather have a 90 throw power quarterback with one of those abilities than a 99 throw power, 99 everything guy. And it's a significant difference there. It's about a 10% or so difference. So that's the look there. And this is kind of intuitively obvious if you have ever played with one of these abilities. And if you just watch the trajectory of the ball, it's pretty clear. But I also want to kind of just go over now, we're going to sub in our kicker, and we're going to see what his throw power is and see how fast that ball gets there. Just as kind of a funny thing, just kind of for some reference. He's 38 or so throw power there. And we're going to time out how fast that ball gets there. Just to kind of cover all of our bases first, we got to throw the ball away. And now you're going to see that we have our kicker in, and we're going to do the exact same thing. You can see he kind of dead ducks it, and that causes the receiver to come back and get it, which kind of throws off the timing a little bit. So it's not apples to apples, but it's really not that far off, 38 throw power. The ball doesn't really get there any slower necessarily than even like a 90 throw power guy. Now, I think on this throw here, this is kind of the best representation where the ball just kind of wobbles and our guy doesn't have to come back to it. And you can see it's about 1.15 seconds or so. So it's a little bit slower, obviously. And those differences are going to be much more pronounced when you're throwing the ball 30, 40, 50 yards than this little curl route. So keep that in mind. But it is kind of interesting that it's a very small difference between 38 throw power and 90 throw power. So doing this with the kicker gave me the idea to test the theory that a lot of people had, especially last year with these abilities, and that's that they just override the ratings. So even if you had like 50 throw power, for instance, if you had that set feet lead or pass lead elite ability, then you would get that extra zip on the ball. But so I backed out of practice mode. I edited Tom Brady there to 50 throw power. He's kept his set feet lead ability, and then we're going to time this out. And you're going to see that it's actually significantly slower than when he was 90 throw power. And with his ability, now with his 50 throw power and the ability, it's about 15-20% slower. It's actually still around how fast a 90 speed quarterback would deliver the ball without the ability. But it is definitely slower. So that kind of debunks the theory that they just completely override the ratings. I think they stack here with the ratings. So if you have one of these abilities, you still want to get your guy as much throw power as you can because every bit helps. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Until next time, take care.